Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I am Shawnee Godwin, and I am the creator and founder of Joy Economics, creating better ways to live, work, and play. And I am here to teach you how to use your talents, your gifts, and your stories to make more so you can have more, be more, and get all the goodness this life has to offer you. So if that sounds good to you, do me a quick favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. And let's get started. Class is in session. So today we're going to talk about the word that, if we had the dictionary for 2020, would be at the top of the list. It is the word we got sick of hearing in 2020, and that word is, ta-da, pivoting. Pivoting is such an important skill. And so when I think of pivoting, I don't think of it as just moving and maneuvering, but I think of it as strategic placement so that you can get in the flow of what God has exactly and specifically designed for you. And knowing and understanding your gifts and talents is such an important part of that equation. You know, in my personal life, I've had to pivot significantly. As a company that started a year after 9/11, a company that had to survive and thrive and pivot through the recession of 2007 and 2008, and as a company who in 1 hour last year lost 85% of our revenue, I am not a stranger to pivoting. Whether you're having to pivot in your personal life because of unforeseen circumstances like a divorce, an illness, taking care of parents, kids being at home and crying and running around and homeschooling and Zoom schooling, regardless of what the situation, pivoting and understanding how to pivot is one of the secrets to success you'll need to understand and you'll need to know if you want to unlock the goodness that is out here for you, yes, even in the middle of a pandemic. So, what is pivoting? Pivoting is really about finding momentum. How do you find the momentum that is naturally flowing in your life and pull and move yourself in that direction? As I said, we lost 85% of our revenue in 1 hour in March last year at the top of the pandemic. And if I didn't understand the principle of momentum, I would have been lost in the sauce, and 18 years of hard work would have gone out of the drain. And so what I like to share with people is when you are in a crisis situation or when you are in a moment where you need to redesign your life, one of the first things you need to do is take assessment of what you are working with. I mean, let's be real. If we were in the middle of a shipwreck and we had landed on an island in the middle of destruction and ship pieces and parts all over the place, one of the first things we would do is take stock of what we were working with. Is there a compass on the ship? Is there food? Is there a coconut so we can crack it open and have some water? Are there materials to make a fire with? We would triage the situation and figure out what are we working with and how do we rebuild from there. And so pivoting, albeit a word that we got sick of in 2020, is a critical skill if you want to grow and scale your business or shift your career or move your boat toward the momentum that is right there in your face and waiting for you to find it. So when I think of pivoting, I think of an analogy of a boat because that's kind of how it works in my life. And I had someone very special to me point this out. She said, you know, Shawnee, you are like a fisherman. God gives you an idea. You're like, I got it. You run off with your fishing pole, you jump in your boat, and you just start paddling and rowing, and you start throwing your line out because you're like, okay, I know there are fish out here. And a lot of times I throw all these nets and lines out and nothing comes up. And I get so frustrated and perplexed because I go, I know God told me that there were fish out here, and I know that I'm supposed to be out here doing this thing. But when I get still and quiet, sometimes it's not that there aren't fish. Sometimes it's just the placement of my boat. And so when I get tired, I sit my butt down in the boat. Stop trying to fish out of my own comfort and my own knowledge and my own willingness. I get still and quiet and assess and look at my life and figure out where are the fish and where are the fish jumping. And when I can see those areas in my life and move my boat in that direction, then the fish actually start jumping in the boat. And I don't have to use so much effort. I don't have to be confused and doubtful of what I know God told me. I just simply need to trust that if I put my boat in that place that He has shown me based on the momentum in my life, that the fish will be there, they will be plentiful, and they will find me. And so what is this fishing analogy and what does it mean? I'm gonna give you 3 tips to recognize where there are fish plentifully ready to jump in your boat in 2021. But you gotta be willing to do a few things. And so we're gonna kick it off with tip number 1. Tip number 1 for moving your boat in 2021 is I want you to figure out where are doors in your life that you are trying to force open. Yeah, I said it. What are you trying to force and with your own will and your own might press into? And where are those doors not opening? Yes, where are you trying to force your way, but it is not your season, it is not your time, and it is not the moment for those doors opening, so they're pressing back against you. Gosh, you guys, I can teach on this because I am the worst when it comes to this, and I have become so much better at this and at recognizing this principle in my life. Typically, these are the things that we want. We want them bad. We are hell-bent on making them happen, and we are pressing into them with all of our might, but they are not moving. Some of the ways we can recognize the doors that are not opening is because it creates stress in our lives. It is difficult to press those doors open. Things are not happening fluidly and effortlessly, and we are using all of our energy and our might trying to force the doors open. It doesn't mean it's not your door. It just means it's not your door in this moment. And maybe there's a better way God is trying to shift you and show you that you can maneuver your way to it if you will just recognize the momentum in your life and shift your boat. So with that, let's look at tip number 2. Tip number 2. Once you have identified where you have been trying to force the doors open, now I want you to go in the other direction and let's identify where the doors are flying open. Oh, I love this principle. There are always doors that are just wide open to us, flying open to us effortlessly. You walk past them and they fling open and you're like, hey, I didn't even know a door was here. And a lot of times, because we're trying to force doors open in other areas of our lives that are not meant to open right now, we miss the doors that are flying open. Well, guess what? Those doors that are flying open are beautiful, beautiful presents and beautiful, beautiful clues to where you need to be maneuvering your boat so that you can get to where God is calling you. And God is always moving us toward our heart's desires when we delight in Him and we do it His way. So you can trust that the doors that you are moving through are going to move you in the direction that you've been called to. But it's up to you to figure out which doors are the ones that are open and available to you now. Even when they don't look like anything you were ever trying to do, trust those doors and move into them. I promise you there is amazing goodness that will freaking blow your mind if you move in the direction of where there's momentum. When I looked at what was going on with our business in 2020, while certain doors were closing, a major corporate account closed or really moved and significantly decreased, where there was momentum was in coaching, in speaking, in training. There was momentum in working with small businesses. There was momentum in e-courses and e-learning and helping people with their content. And those doors, if I had not recognized them and moved toward them, would essentially have kept me from getting to the blessings of things like this amazing YouTube channel, this amazing new platform, this ability to pour into others and help them figure out how to use their talents and their gifts and their stories to make more so that they can have more and be more. And guess what? This is actually the work I love to do. How cool is that? So tip number 3, once you have figured out where you are trying to force doors open, and when you have secondly figured out where doors are flying open, now you should more easily be able to do tip number 3, which is find the current in your current situation. So I love this analogy of moving our boat, because in the current situation, there are opportunities waiting for you to scoop them up and grab them and pick them up and put them in your basket. I picture this moment as like an Easter egg hunt, and there are all of these hidden eggs, and it is our job to be alert and aware and figure out where the eggs are hiding. And once you can find them, you've got these beautiful new little packages of glittery gold and beautiful colors and all kinds of things with amazing surprises that God has put inside of them just for you. But it again is up to you to figure out and to choose, no less, to flow with the current. So just like a current flows in a lake or a river, I am simply asking you to get in alignment with the flow of your life. So by getting in alignment with the current in your current situation, you will be better equipped, aligned, and ready to capitalize on so many blessings. I promise if you continue to move in that direction, they will unlock so much purpose, momentum, and ability and opportunity in your life, you won't be able to stand it. You'll be more excited, you'll be happier, you'll unleash more joy, you'll make more income because of those things, and you will live to tell others about how good God is and how amazing you are because you have figured out one of the secret ways that you can pivot in 2021. Hey guys, I love you. I am so about giving you all my tips and strategies in 2021. If you like this video, please share it with a friend. Comment below and tell me where and how are you going to move your boat in 2021. Tell me where you want to go, and I'd love to pray for you. Feel free to jump on over to IG. Be sure to follow me there at I am Shawnee Godwin. Link in with me on LinkedIn, and please, please, please share this video. I love and appreciate you. I thank you. I'm looking forward to getting back with you next week and hearing all about all of the things that you learned and how you were able to pivot and move your boat so that you could capitalize on all of the momentum that's right here at your fingertips at the start of this great new year. Y'all have an amazing week. Be great, and let's go with the flow in 2021. See you later.